Greetings from Dystopia, episode 15. We are back at the pile today. Just came out, didn't run today, decided not to run. Woke up this morning, that adductor was a little stiff. Stretching it out didn't help too much, so I figured, all right, we're just going for a walk. May have to pause this recording in a little bit. I am waiting on a virtual office visit with my doctor. Nothing to do with the adductor, of all things. It's just a UTI. But yeah, gotta do what you gotta do, right? So I like the way that they're doing more and more telepresence now. For years they've been saying that's what they were going to do. It's funny, at least to me from the technology standpoint, it's funny that it took a virus for them to actually push medical telepresence into the forefront instead of just experimentation or in severe cases, you know. Well, granted, this could be considered a severe case, but yeah. So I think it's a good thing that we're doing it finally. Should cut down on some overhead too for doctors anyways. Downsize their practice and do things more telepresence and teleconference, and you don't have to worry about it. Had another guy come up on me there, so I stopped for a moment just because it looked like he was going to ask a question, and he did, so I paused for a minute. Some of you guys, we came up here when I did the Facebook Live videos. Came up here a couple times during those. But yeah, so it's 68 degrees today, right now. Humidity is definitely up from the rain last night. Calling for severe thunderstorms this evening. We might actually break 78 today is what they're saying. So we'll have to see how that goes. As I check my 6. Don't like being out in the woods and some random guy's behind me. But it looks like he's going the other way. Y'all have to tell me if he comes up behind me, right? It wouldn't do you any good if there's no video tonight. You'll know what happened. Nah, I'm not worried about it, but still helps me know where that guy is as far as situational awareness. On the way up the hill coming up here, I was on hold with the doctor's office, and passed something on the road, and I wanted to like stop and record it, but I was on the phone, and it would be kind of gross to post that anyways. Remember the other day I talked about my shit kit, about the trowel. People, don't shit in the road. If you have to go and you're in the woods, it's no big deal, go. But grab a stick, dig a hole, shit in the hole, cover it up. Don't leave it laying out in the open. Number one, it's nasty. Number two, you're going to have animals rolling in it. Right now, apparently, they've shown that animals can get corona as well, so we don't want to be spreading it that way. But also for other disease. If you're out there pooping on the ground and the next guy comes by and poops on the ground, you continue to go, you're going to have some serious problems. That's why we have sewage. It's no big deal to go in the woods. Stop, dig a cat hole. And like I said, 8 inches wide, 8 inches deep, do your business, cover it up. Make it look like you weren't there. Everything goes in the hole. Don't use wet wipes in the woods, unless they are the biodegradable type. Pausing, and the back. Phone call coming in, that was actually the doctor's office. She's gonna look through my records and then either call in the script or give me a call. So if I have to pause again, you'll know why. But yeah, so don't shit in the woods. Do I have to do a video on how to poop in the woods? I'll do it. Minimum of 100 feet from a water source. Just like, I can't really turn the camera around, but if you're right where I'm at, there's a ditch right here. Behind it's a little creek, right? creek goes under the road, under that little bridge, and continues this way. So if I needed to go, I would go right back up there. I tend to go a little bit farther than you need to, 200 feet, dig a hole, go. You don't need, a spade or the little trowel like I carry. That just makes it easier. Nice stout stick, dig a hole. Do your business. Leaves work. Don't use leaves of 3. Just remember that. Leaves of 3, leave it be. That way you're not washing or wiping your backside with poison ivy. Got another hiker coming down the trail over here. I am in no way in hiking mode today. I just have jeans and a t-shirt on, but I do have my running shoes. Like I was saying, anyways, the weather's pretty nice, but we're expecting the storms later today. Right now they're forecasting a little bit east of here the pop-ups to come up, so we'll have to see what happens. Hope everybody out there is well. You guys are doing a good job. Kelly, I forgot the steps he took yesterday. I did see it. He posted it up. Kelly is nailing the miles, which is good. Anthony, start posting up, buddy. Gotta keep you in check, right? And check my 6 again. He is heading this way. That's all right. I'm at 8,200 steps. No, 9,200. So about the time I get back down to the car, I'll have my 10,000 in for the day. I just needed to get out and walk. I can't, as much as I need to not do stuff, I don't want to just sit around. And had another one come up. A lot of hikers out here today. Well, not a lot, that's 4 that I've seen. Coming up the hill, so I got coming that trail. The one I normally run is back here behind me in the woods. It's on the other side of this ravine. I can actually see it right back over here. You can kind of make it out right there across the line on the other side of that ravine. So I had one coming out of there. That one came up behind me. Another guy came off of the intersection back here to the right. Now that guy just came up that same trail I run. But this is nowhere near what it was on Sunday. Sunday. Sunday is when I was polling everybody. Where are you from? Chicago. It always cracks me up there. Sometimes you get somebody that tries to hide that Chicago accent. Chicago. Don't worry, guys. But yeah. Let's see. I answered John Wayne's question yesterday. Did a little bit more on my desk this morning, so we'll start. I might be able to start shooting some video of the Raspberry Pi stuff this afternoon. I posted up yesterday quick snapshots of the Renogy panels that I got. I bought 2. They're small solar panels, little 10 watters. But 10 watts is capable of charging like this Pixel 1.5 to 2 hours. So I have plenty of the little small USB portable battery packs. So the idea of the Renogys is I can use those to charge those small packs and just keep everything running. But I'll get one set up, hopefully on the next nice day. It's a little cloudy today. Although solar panels do work on cloudy days, but it's for lighting. They don't want a better sun. Oh yeah. I will, when I get back down here just a little bit, I'm going to stop the video and video with the front-facing camera. This bugs me because I can't turn the camera around. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch software when I go to do that. See if it works. I have, so here's some right here. The Bloodroot. But up here in front of me is a huge, well not huge, about 2 feet wide and about 100 feet long path of Bloodroot that's bloomed since yesterday. So let me switch camera views here and we'll go shoot that. Okay, so now we're recording. Now this is using a different software package. And nope, it will not allow me to switch the camera view. I want to be able to switch the camera view while I'm recording. But anyways, somebody's beer can. But maybe now you can see all of the Bloodroot as we walk along. This is the kind of soil it loves. You can see it's, so the old road is here, and then it tapers off to a downhill. And that is the way Bloodroot loves to grow. It loves where it's relatively highly drained, but yet there's enough detritus to hold moisture. Get you guys in for a couple close-ups there. There's one right down at my feet. Pardon the shaky camera work there. But yeah, and then same on the other side of the road, same difference. You know, the hill is sloped and they grow on the slopes. So if you're ever looking, if you want to come out and look for Bloodroot, this is the time of the year to look for it. Like I was saying the other day, it is one of my favorite flowers. I think it's much prettier. It's very daisy-like, to whereas Trillium is just the 3 spiked leaves, you know. Yeah, there's a good bit of Bloodroot growing in here. So yeah. And then all down the hill. And you can see it goes down. There's one right out there by his lonesome. If I can get him back in the view, there it is. You can see it right out there. And that's the point where it levels off. So the Bloodroot just stops growing where it levels off. It's really a beautiful flower. Very daisy-like, carnation-like. All right. Okay, so now I'm back on the default camera. Default camera software for the Pixel. I can see it's not adjusting as much, so that's all right, right? That's what this is all about, is experimentation. Try and learn something new. Hopefully get something that keeps you guys entertained. If not, I know a couple of you in particular are probably just waiting for me to bust my ass while I'm recording. Ain't happening. Even if I did, you would never see it. No, I would show a wipeout on camera. If I did one, I'd show it. Just to show you how stupid I can be sometimes. 75 steps, and I will have hit it. Hit my minimum for the day. And then I'm going to go somewhere and sit down, talk to you guys for a few more minutes. But yeah, I'll start working on the Raspberry Pi stuff today, hopefully, or tomorrow. Get it laid out, and we'll just walk you guys through a quick basic load. I mean, there are a ton of them out there, but I'll just do one anyways. It gives me some practice. Because I have to use screen capture software, and then I have to use still camera. Right. There's my goal. Let me take my photo. Day 104 of the streak. So that's altitude, steps or distance, depending on which way I have it configured, and just my general exercise. I record it all either on the watch or hit the app and plug it all in. And it haunts me if I don't if I don't do my minimums each day. This watch just steady vibrates, and after about an hour of missing my goals for the day, the phone will actually start to beep every couple minutes. Instagram notification. Yeah, I was hesitant to the whole smartwatch thing, and I couldn't find one that had everything in it I wanted. And finally, when Garmin started releasing their watches, I was like, okay, that's got something I like, that's got something I like. I did have a Motorola prior to this. The Motorola was okay. I didn't like their, we're back to UIs again, Matt, if you're watching. I didn't like their user interface at all on the watch. The Garmin is completely customizable. Still on the, so like that is a custom face. Because I didn't quite want analog and I didn't quite want a full-blown digital. I wanted something that had the feel of the old, I'm not sure how well that's showing up, but of the old 8-bit ANSI graphics from years ago, back in the bulletin board days. I kind of wanted that feel, so it was fairly straightforward to do. I just found a face. It's kind of like I was talking about yesterday with Arduino and Raspberry Pi, and that you find the code set that does the basic functions you want, and then you add to it. It's actually really simple to make a watch face for this, but I just found one that had the basics of what I like, changed up the colors a little bit, and yeah, got what I wanted. So like I said, I have two Garmin watches, the Vivo Active and the Phoenix. The Vivo Active is the one I wear pretty much every day because I have my phone with me. If I did not have my phone with me, or knew I would be somewhere like up in Wisconsin where there's no phone signal, where I go, I would wear the Phoenix because of the standalone functions that are built into the Phoenix are much better than the Vivo Active. But if you don't need truly accurate GPS or your true fitness apps and mapping capabilities, then you don't really need a Phoenix or one of the other higher end from either Garmin or Suunto. I do have a couple Suuntos in mind. I'm a huge Suunto fan for compasses, but I cannot get myself to pop that kind of money for a watch, so maybe I'll eventually spring for one on the credit card where I just pay for it a little bit at a time. But I tend to, purchases like this, I tend to do them one-offs. I buy them straight out. I try not to finance things. That's just a personal thing. In fact, the only thing I've got right now that's financed, besides obvious a couple credit card purchases, but is the van, and that's it. I don't like doing it. We're coming up to the road here. All right, let me pause. I'll get in the vehicle and be back with you guys in a few. Hang tight. All right, I'm back. I am in the van. I came back over to that horse parking lot. I had fully intended to sit out under the picnic shelter, but I got here and there's two couples on opposite ends of the shelter, each at their own picnic table, and I don't feel comfortable getting in the middle of them and trying to do a video recording, but more so just getting in between them space-wise. So we'll finish it off here. Yeah, so I'll kind of rolling back a little bit. We'll do the, I'll start prepping my desk and that web camera to get ready to do some top-down recording today. And we'll start off on just the easy part. I'll do a little 10-minute segment on the Raspberry Pi, what it is, kind of the general gist of it. I will go with not the newest model, but the one previous, because I've actually seen them for sale on Amazon quite often lately for about $25. These are very inexpensive single board computers, about the size of a credit card. You can use them for any number of tasks. You want to build your own Google or even your own Alexa, you can. It's those two are actually quite easy to build. You'll do it and you'll be out for less than $40 if you buy the cheaper model of Raspberry Pi. And you're going to be like, well, why did I spend $70 for one? Yeah, it's no big deal. You didn't necessarily have the skill set to build it yourself, but my goal here is to show you enough of the basics to where you'll be able to build one. So yeah, comment below. Tell me what you want the first project to be. Do you want to make a homemade Google Home? Do you want to make a homemade Google with a display on it? Do you want to see Android Auto built into the Raspberry Pi with a display? I have an email here. That's the one bad thing about smartwatches is you can't overcome. Oh, that one's from my daughter. That's right. I will answer her in a little bit. She can wait. Not. But yeah, give me some ideas for what you want to build first, what you want to see done. If you just want to see it set up as a desktop computer, we can do that in 20 minutes, tops. It's actually very easy. You download Debian Stretch or Noobs. Noobs is the Raspberry Pi Foundation's Debian version. Debian is open source operating system. It is loosely based on, it is a Linux kernel. Linux is loosely based on Minix and Unix. So I typically will say it's a Starnix distribution, as in asterisk, meaning something Nix, Unix, Minix, Linux, Xenix. That list goes on for quite a ways over the years. Very Windows-like. If you're Windows or Mac, don't panic because it's not Windows or it's not Mac. You're familiar with navigating the user interface. You can hit the start button or the Apple logo. You can, and find your way through the menu. It's, if anything, I find that most Linux distributions are easier than Windows. There are plenty. Linux Mint immediately springs to mind. There are plenty that are ready for any user, that any user can use. Linux Mint also has a hatch now for the Raspberry Pi version 4, which is a quad-core 2 or 3 gigabyte RAM board. So it is as powerful as a desktop was, say, 10 years ago or so. For a kid's first computer, don't go buy a Mac. You can get by with these. With the Raspberry Pi 4s, you can get by with them fairly well. The only thing I've noticed that still doesn't do very well is a YouTube video at full HD. Other than that, they work absolutely tremendous as a desktop computer. Can you do Microsoft Word on it? Well, not really, but you can do Office 365, which is web-based. So you could do Office 365 Word through the browser, and it runs quite well. But there are plenty of open source Office packages. In fact, I tend to lean towards Libra myself, which is an Office package that's open source. I tend to actually lean towards that over Office, although I do have an Office 365 subscription, because a lot of times clients will send me files and it's just easier to open it up in Word than try and do the conversion. Wait, it's a little quicker. So yeah, there's still some little Open Office is the other one that's really good. I think I like Libra more because it has a little bit more style to it. You will find that as we play with the Raspberry Pi, you'll see most applications developed for the Linux platform in general are very utilitarian. I'm not saying that some of them don't look pretty, some of them do, but they focus more on function than form. And I don't know, I've always been, that's the better mindset anyways, to make it. See how big my shirts are? I don't know how many of you saw my post this morning, but this is a 2XL. Here's the shoulder seam, and here's my shoulder. So I was that much wider. It's just I put this shirt on this morning, and I did. I felt like a little boy putting on his dad's shirt. So yeah, I got to get some shirts coming in. Anthony, appreciate it. Hey, you got a business? I can wear your shirts. I don't care. It gets me free shirts, gets you advertising. No. If I wear a shirt, it's something that I personally like or personally use. I won't sell myself out just to get somebody advertising. That's crap. That's one thing I do dislike with some of the vloggers that I do watch on YouTube. He'll almost gave him away who it is, but he'll talk about a specific brand of camera. But I've noticed when he's actually filming himself, several times he turns around and there's glass behind him like a storefront. And you can see right on the camera it says Sony. But yet he advertised this Canon all the time. I'll tell you what equipment I use. And I'm not going to bullshit you about it. There's no reason to. In fact, I was talking about this one yesterday. If I can get the cover off of it. Actually, this is a good one for Matt. Oh man, that mic clip is strong on this thing. And it, just now, as I had this in my hand, dawned on me why it may not work. Why the mic may not work on the camera. I think I have to change the output or the input selection in this camera software. There we go. Now I got it off of there. The microphone that I normally use is the Rode. This is their Video Micro. So I just kind of took it off of its bracket here so you guys could get a better picture of it. It is typically mounted on this isolation mount. So this mounts on top of the camera. The camera or the microphone free floats in an isolation mount so you don't get shocks of like me hitting the camera. The microphone vibrates. You'll hear the sound, but you won't hear that dum, 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 dum. The extra noise. Dead mouse, dead cat, dead fox, depending on the size of it. It's a wind baffle. It's a foam core surrounded by the fur. I know you guys have all seen these things. And it slides on. I love the Rode design because now that it's on there, it ain't coming off unless I really pull it off. These are the cables I was talking about yesterday. There's a specific cable for Apple, a specific cable for general devices. This is the general device cable. So I'm going to actually try that when I'm done recording here. But I have 3 Rode microphones, the Rode Video, the Rode Video Micro, and the Rode, it's R-O-D-E? R-O, I forgot what you call that, through it. And the other one is a shotgun mic. It's the NX, I think. But mine is the one with the self-contained battery, which I think they put a number after that, NX something. Otherwise, you have to go to a mixing board with a phantom power supply because it needs 48 volts. So I have the one with the built-in battery. These do not require a battery. These run off of the camera, off of the device. We can go through some of that too if you guys are interested in it. We can go through the equipment behind making video, the behind the scenes stuff. I'm not a big one for a ton of lighting, I prefer to use natural light, as you can see here. But I will try, like in a situation like this, where I'm side lit, and there's just a slight fill on this side. So there is some photography technique behind it, but nothing major. I don't go over the top. I see vloggers, and I do have the LED lights. I have a ring light. I have the standard 8x8 array of natural light LEDs. Looks kind of like an old school camera flash, but it's an 8x8 grid of natural light LEDs as a full front light. I very, very rarely use that thing. I bought 2 of them, and I think I've used them twice or 3 times shooting video. One time was of fly tying. Actually, that video is on this channel. It's the one where I stuck my finger. I just had them on as an ambient fill, and that was it because I was shooting in a dark living room. But yeah, we can talk about that. You guys pipe up and let me know the kinds of things you want to see. Jim gave me a fantastic list of things. We'll go through that. Carol and I will continue to fill you in on the pissed off veteran. Believe me, there's a bunch of it. But I want to kind of wait until we're past all of this because I don't want to be the one with depressing statistics, or I tend not to, and I've posted this on Facebook before and it's gotten some flack. I tend not to listen to major news outlets, particularly cable news outlets. I have 2 trusted news sources. It used to be 3. And that's NPR, BBC. The third one is Voice of America. Back in the 80s, early 90s, living in Germany, it was always BBC and VOA. VOA has changed their format a little bit. I should say it's always been that format, the view of America. Things as viewed through American eyes, until you get to the different shows like Daybreak Africa, and that's just all over the world now. But they now are so focused on the smaller third world countries that they broadcast into. It is all American view all the time. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with that. I just think you're putting a lean to it. NPR, for the most part, stays straight line, but they do occasionally lean left. Or in your case. In my case, lean left, but from your view. Actually, no, that's right. Anyway, BBC is always straight down the line. But yeah, I take what I get from those 2 or 3 news outlets, and I go hunt statistics. And I know I've posted that before on Facebook as well. When this outbreak first started, I went and I trusted the CDC's output. It got to where the numbers started changing a little bit during the day. And they would change to the better right before major press conferences and then change back. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm not saying anything like that. But you shouldn't see these large swings in data. You will see slight ticks as a report is entered and then they make a correction. And then another one is entered and then they make a correction. You will see slight ticks, but you won't see number drops of 10,000, 15,000 people. So I started going with WHO numbers, URA, Universities Research Association, and then several other scientific groups that track viral outbreaks. Those are the ones that I started looking at, those numbers. And those are the ones I trust. It's bad when you don't have that much faith in numbers you're getting from your own government, but it's just trying to avoid, or at least do a comparison. If I'm getting a lower number here but a higher number here, I'm okay, what's the difference? When was this report generated? What was the source of that data? And those are the things you look at. I'm very skeptical when it comes to news anymore. I don't know, maybe it's age. So, anywho. But yeah, do comment up. Give me ideas. If I mention something, I don't give you enough detail, you want to know more, post up and ask. I have no problems talking about it. I need to generate content for you guys as much as I do for myself. This is a project I can put myself into, and it keeps me focused. So it's very good for working against anxiety. All right, guys, we're going to cut it right there, and I will edit this down to a 30-minute video for you guys, or under 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep that sweet spot. 10-minute videos are really easy to do, but I can't get into content with 10 minutes. It's hard to cover the things that you guys are asking about or talking about on Facebook. So, all right, that's it. Be good. Be well. See you guys tomorrow.